What are a couple of things that you would if you given the chance tomorrow? You could say these are the 3 items I really want in a supercar that I'm going to race at Bathurst. What would they be?
I'm not sure I'm convinced on the formats, to be honest. Like, I'm not 100% sure on the formats because the tyre situation and, like, I think they should run almost unlimited tyres in some way. Like, not unlimited, but, like, you should come home with greens.
Yeah.
You should have that option. If there's a safety car, you've got greens. Like, you shouldn't have to be penny pinching from the bank because we run off $6 million a year and a set of tyres are $1,000. Like, they're actually really cheap.
Yeah.
It's like some categories around the world there.
Is that all they are?
Well, they're like
I think it's $1,200.
$1,200.
And
Cheaper than a set of bloody Hoosiers, mate.
But you're right. You go to the test days even for you now, and you're going to know, like that one in Sydney, we ran 2024 tyres.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
And it's like, why the fuck are we doing this? Like, we're the premier category in Australia, and for $1,200, we're like, I think they had 3 sets of tyres for the entire day, which meant the fans as well don't even get to see their favourite guys turn a lap for half the day.
But then, like testing, in practice, they save the tyres till the end because then that tyre carries over to the next event. Like when you go and watch NASCAR, you roll out and they're all new tyres. They roll out on brand new tyres.
Yeah.
They often qualify straight away on brand new tyres and then practice and everything's new tyres going at it. So we seem to talk about it a lot, but the tyre quality is just, or the quantity is not enough. Like I'd change that. Then I'd probably change the formats that allowed a guy to run tyres late to come through and spice it up that way a little bit. Because at the moment, they just do the same strategy because they've got the same tyre, that's why. But if you had more tyres, you'd probably spice it up a bit. And if you didn't have to take them to the 2 weeks' time, you'd be okay. I don't know, there's lots of things.
Even cost of storing them then as well actually probably save teams because you're not storing tyres in heat-controlled rooms and things like that.
You store tyres over Christmas. Some years you'd come back, they'd be purple the next year because they'd be sitting out like...
That's because you're titrating, mate.
Yeah, that was go-kart. No, but like they'd just be purple. And then you'd roll out and go, oh, car's crap. So then they're trying to save cost, but then you go and buy simulation software that does it all for you and not every team has that. And so it opens up, I don't know, I'd change that. I'd put push to pass on the cars.
Would you?
Yeah, and I've driven it in Brazil and it's bulletproof.
I was going to ask you about Brazil. We'll go to that later, but yeah.
It's the best.
You're right.
So push to pass. So it's artificial, but it creates passing because it's got a 2-minute delay. When you press the push to pass, it gives you 15 seconds, 20% throttle opening. So it's fast. But you push it 3 seconds it takes to engage, so you can't press to react.
Yeah, right.
So you press it coming into the corner at the last corner, and as you accelerate out, it engages, and you get 15 seconds, and it's 0.8 a lap.
Wow.
So you go past someone, but then they see you coming, and they can't press to react because it's 3-second delay.
That's smart. I like that.
So they wait to the next lap. So you've got a 2-minute no button press, and so then they pass you on the next lap, and then so there's this artificial racing, but you get 14 in a race. So then what I realised when I hopped in the car when I was the co-driver, I hopped in and I'm like, I pushed the buttons, it's not working. He goes, I used all 14 in about 20 laps. So, but like you have to manage it because the guys on the radio are saying, oh, he's got 7 left. He's catching you, but let him.
So they promote that too. So fans and teams can see how. So that's so cool.
And what they get is a popularity one. You get 1 extra push to pass. So it gets people engaged because vote for me.
It's really good.
Give me,
well, imagine Bathurst last year just with Brock and Brody, where they were like 1 and 2 neck and neck, and at the end of the race, kind of like, well, unless Brody makes a mistake, it's great to see them operate at a high level, but only we really appreciate that.
But even Cam coming on the straight in Sydney, if he had 1 left and they side draft, it's like creates that epic finish because problem is often the car behind's faster, but and then you are always to pass someone that's borderline. Then Beardo gets involved because it's like, oh, it's a grey area, but it takes that out. And if you're fast enough, you take off. Yeah. And then you've got to build 8 tenths and they'll come back at you. But
that's a cool one. I like that.
I really enjoy that. But I've floated it and no one's interested in it. But
how do you know how that actually worked? Like how did it give them the extra speed? Was it
opens the throttle? So they run off about 80% throttle.
Right. So they had extra in the
correct. Yeah. Okay. And fly-by-wire lets you do it. So you can't do it off a mechanical throttle cable, but with the fly-by-wire, it's like DRS in some ways, but it actually works. Like DRS is just a novelty thing.
Well, for F1, it would make a difference. For us, it would not because
no, but even F1, like you get too much aero wash, and unless it's Shanghai that's got
the long straights,
it doesn't work. Like Miami, you watch it doesn't work, the
Yeah.
DRS really. So this actually, through a corner, aero wash, like whatever, there's no, it works because the engine's fast. So you get 20% throttle and you go past. And in qualifying, you can't use it. So, and then in practice, guys use it and then they get this fake timesheet. And it was really cool. I like the aspect of it. But
Yeah, I think that's a good change.
I like that. That's very cool.
and spices it up. So that's one change. And there's lots.
One more. Give me one more, Frosty. One more.
I think, well, back when I started, there was like 18 or 20 races. There's not enough races. Like waiting 4 or 5 weeks to an event, waiting for your ship to come back. And like I understand there's reasons why they do it. But the cars, if you race Trans Ams, you could do 20 events because the cost is right and you get a good show. And the cars are too expensive and they break easy and just, I don't know, there's lots of things. But I understand there's reasons why it happens and, you know, it just is what it is. But when you've got mates, they don't know when you're, right. Like normally you get invites to everywhere because you're not racing much. You were never away because like back in the day, you'd be away every weekend. You'd be 18, 20 races a year. So they have to get the volume back up because it's too hard to follow.
Yeah.
It's too big a gap. So
You want people to find it by accident almost. Like Tasmania's this weekend and we haven't planned ahead enough our pre-brief because we didn't realise it was this weekend.
Because we're having a little holiday because we've got so much
Like,
time.
given how good the racing is,
And we're
too,
following it.
Like the racing this year is incredible. So imagine that every weekend because you build a story. Like back years ago, and I sound like the old geriatric bloke, but like you would build rivalries because you'd crash into someone, and then next week I'm getting him back. But now they all go on holidays. And then 4 weeks time they're like, oh shit, I don't even know who hit me last time. Like it's that long
gone.
ago. You lose the
That's actually very true. I
storyline.
I
So
haven't thought of it like that.
It's hard to hold a grudge for 4 weeks.
Yeah, as you say, if it's the next week, like, fucking pay this one back. But as you say,
you've got 3 weeks to massage the relationship.
they go
Like,
on,
you could
they
get
go,
on and
they go on 15 bike rides, 32 lattes, and they're over it.
But back in the day, and the next week you're like, I'm like, it's recent. I'm going to get you, and then you get him, and then that would flow because then the coverage. Oh, he's owed one, and it would build the drama. So there's lots of things like need to change in many ways, but the product is the best it's been from a racing point of view, I think. So there's really good stuff happening.
Yeah.
But what would you change? But then you don't sit in that, this costs that, and the team owner says, I don't have this money, or whatever. Like, I'm sure there's...
But there always is a way of justifying anything, though, I think. Like, you look at when we did the Melbourne Grand Prix, and whether it's true or not, but some of the conversation around, like, we don't want to have the accident because of New Zealand being next.
Yeah.
But Melbourne Grand Prix, we celebrate that race in the lead up because it actually promotes that type of racing where you want to see them make... That's why the format is sprint, so that people take more risk because there's less points on the line, they might crash. So why would you put Melbourne Grand Prix ahead of the New Zealand one? Maybe you could do a single day event at Phillip Island, Winton, then go to New Zealand where those tracks are lower risk, and you fit in then 3 events, including the Grand Prix, before you go off to New Zealand. And even now they come back, and I think some of the teams, I think Brad Jones only got 2 days to turn his cars around before Tasmania, which is crazy to think we haven't raced since Tassie, and he gets 2 days. Like the poor
And
blokes.
he's got 4 cars.
Like the poor crew. It's not like they've got to sit on their hands, unfortunately, for a few weeks, and then
And they're building Toyotas.
And they're building Toyotas. It is. The calendar's one. Yeah, I mean, they need to do more races. It's always challenging, though. Like you say, there's a reason, and I know there's a big cost, but I think there's some ways to shortcut it. And one of the ones with this year, which bugged me, was obviously being co-driver, selfish, but the testing doesn't really make any sense to me because now the only test day that Walkinshaw get is in Sydney Motorsport Park, which is $400 a day per person to travel to. They got to go early because it's the week of a race week, so they stay there for like 7 days, plus the launch, which was in Sydney on the Harbour Bridge. Queensland Raceway is the next one. And so we're like, oh, they're only doing 2 test days this year to save some costs. But it's like, well, fuck, now their test days aren't at Winton for a day trip. They've got to go to Queensland and spend an extra couple of days with the whole crew to run a test day. And the one before the bend is effectively your enduro one. So they've got to keep the boom set up, which means travel crew can't leave, like the amount of work around it. So there is ways you can justify it, but also I think there's some low-hanging fruit we could probably start to look at, like the tyres. You know, there's low-hanging fruit we could definitely experiment and play with, I think.
There's all little things in there, but yeah, you just want the cars on track. Like,
yeah, especially when the product's as good as it is.
That's how I got. Yeah. That's how you get 621 starts or whatever, 15 starts because there was a lot of races. Where now it's 12 a year. So that's why, like, I don't know. Circling back along to one of your questions, you miss the. We were really lucky in our era to see some of the best. Like the worst part is in life when you are doing something and it gets way better and all this cool stuff comes. But like the era that we were in, it was really cool. So you went to Shanghai, you went to Austin, Texas, you went to whatever. Like there was all these really cool things happening, 20 races a year. You know, Ford were in it, Holden were in it. Like there was really
you lived through a real.
So now you look at it, and like I love the sport, and I'm a fan for life, and love it. But there's things about it it was really good. It has been really good. The sport, the racing now is better than I think it was, you know, back then. But there's things that you live that, you know, if you saw that coming now and you missed it, then you'd be real jealous because. That's the problem. You always miss that next thing that comes, but I'm not sure what that is now in the sport. It's at a holding point of
Definitely is
a good product, but what's next?